Okay. I hope you are okay with timing and with your attention, because I will make your Sunday become miserable. Each Sunday for the rest of your life will become, oh, lucid dreaming, fuck. So this is the day mostly people are okay with the webinar and with the talk. Take care that English is not my language, and sometimes something which need an hour to speak, it usually took me 2 hours to say, but okay, success is our proof. Yeah. Now we will talk about what we need to do and when. For this purpose, I will share with you my screen, so it is very important to realize the structure of dream. Just to see this. Where is sharing screen? I think this. Can you see my screen? Can you see the pictures?
I can see.
Now, yeah? Okay. So, I hope it is clear for you as in my computer. This is a sleep cycle of 8 hours. You see from 0 toward 8. And you see what we talk about. We start not with REM phase. REM is what we need. The dreaming state, the paradoxical state. The state where our brain and our soul is working together, but not for the good cause. So, we need, you see, then almost more than 90 minutes so you can reach the first REM phase, which lasts only 5 minutes. Then 10, 15, and before the dawn, it is almost an hour. Usually half an hour, depends on your mind setup, on your age, on lots of things, but let us say the last REM phase, it's the longest and the widest. The dreams are very vivid. All horrific nightmares mostly starts in this part, and most of lucid dreamings, occasionally without control, starts in that part of night after 6 or 7 hours of sleep. So what I want to see is that the beginning, before this 5 minutes of short REM phase, it's oblivion of non-REM phase without any mental activity. And as you reach the stage 4, you start to get awake. But what happens when you reach almost the top? You are awake, but not in this reality. In reality which is constructed by your mind for you. And the same repetition, it's almost in the same part of a sleep. You are diving into the oblivion and you are waking in a dream which is unreal. And you will see that the beginning, before that 5 minutes of first REM, and the end after the 7 hours, it's a non-REM phase, as your mind deliberately want for you to stop remembering who you are, so you cannot interrupt the false reality it constructs for you. It is very important to see that REM phases as are surrounded not by wakefulness, but oblivion of non-consciousness, non-REM phase. So it is guarded by oblivion, forgotten. You cannot know that you are Dushan who is dreaming because your mind cut off all rememberings and memory, so you can realize it. You are blank, you are zero, you don't have knowledge of what you need to do. Your part is just to listen as good soldiers of what your mind is telling you. To listen to your great old mother and to eat and do whatever she wants you to do. So, now I need to stop this presentation. My wife showed me, I think this is. I hope I didn't stop recording. No? I'm still with you. Great. So, you are seeing that REM phases are surrounded by the same mechanism of your mind that we speak earlier. It will take everything from you in the first 90 minutes. Exactly because your mind don't want for you to be you. Because this is the only one combination that your mind will give you everything, but took everything in the same time. He will give you the power to control the universe, but he will drop the possibility to know who are you in the first place, so you can live in false reality. He will give you power to create a whole one new universe, which we call dream, with all actions, actors, happenings, emotions, stories in a dream, but it will refuse to give only one small thing, remembering who you are. So, what we need to do? We need, like a thief, to plant and give you a key to escape this wonderful prison, giving you small dosage of awareness. Now, this is the mechanism of creating a dreams. What you are doing when you go to sleep? First, you need to get feel tired. Wrong. Tiredness, it's false creating by your mind, telling you that it is a right time, because sun goes down, because the light is no more. Light which is automatically affects on your serotonin, which will help adrenaline so you can be awake. So your mind is deliberately giving you the glass of wine because your mind wants to fuck you and to lower your expectation. So you can say, oh yes, fuck me, now I'm free. And as soon as the night comes, your brain starts to produce another hormone, which is very important for creating a REM phase, which is called melatonin, which is like black and white hormones. Not exactly, but let us say for the purpose of this presentation. And you are going to your bed and you are doing what? You are closing your eyes. Not because you want to things not disturbing you, because I can have a lucid dreaming, astral projection and scrying with my open eyes without problem, and I will teach you. It is even better to have opening eyes. The wrong things about meditation, the most people think when they close their eyes meditation will become better. deadly wrong decision. Deadly. But it's a part of another webinar. I don't want to speak about the path of enlightenment. No, we are sticking to lucid dreaming. So, when you close your eyes, the level of melatonin now will rush to your mind. Remember what some people after jet lag are taking on their heads? Sleeping mask. Because from so much light in an airplane, your mind simply don't know, is it a good time for sleep? Because the outcomes are totally unnatural. So much light, your mind stop to giving you sense of tiredness. And sense of tiredness is important for sleeping. Without it, you cannot sleep. You will get insomnia. So what you are doing, sometimes you took the pills and you took sleeping mask so you can pump the melatonin hoping you will reach enough dream. Now it is a totally wrong mechanism and in most cases it will produce even more insomnia. You need one whole day to pass so you can sleep in the next evening more naturally. But most of you who have jet lags and travel a lot know that the more you are trying to get sleep, the more awakened you will be after a jet lag. So, what it is important for us to do? First of all, I will speak about things you don't do. Never, ever in your life make attempts before your sleep. Never. 95% of books speak about you go to ritually wash yourself, to pray to God, lots of other bullshit, and you are going to bed with attempt to astral project. Wrong. It is literally wanting to have erection with your wife, thinking about the tax payment you need to pay to the government. Simply, it is impossible. Simply, you cannot do in that way. You can, by coincidence, but if you want to have a lucid dreaming by coincidence, then maybe it is better to use some other means. So, forget about sleeping time schedule for meditation, rituals, enlightenment, lucid dreaming, whatever except tantric and sexual working, and that is a special occasion. We will talk why and in which way. What you want is the few seconds or minutes after you awake. Your mind will be in perfect spot because remember this pattern. Few minutes before it, you had the longest REM phase in your life. Your mind was in gym, working so hard, taking chemicals that your brain never have. Cocaine, speed, whatever, imagine, DMT, MDMA, whatever you want to call it, it is zero toward the chemicals of your REM phase mind setup. And it was just a few minutes before when you wake up. Usually people when take the alarm clock, when have a work earlier in the morning than usual, I don't know if you have sense that when alarm clock wakes you, it is right in the middle of a dream. It is perfect spot for lucid dreaming and whatever you want to achieve in spiritual. And what you are doing in that time, first of all, you are awake and you are enthusiastic. You become neurotic, meaning that you are dropping the chance to return to the natural state of your selfhood. Second, you move a lot because most of you are late. If you are snoozing and you are snooze too much, then you will have a lot of less time to be awake, and then you will start to take your clothes much faster, and much movement involves adrenaline and serotonin, and you missed a sweet spot even few minutes ago, which was perfect. Third, you go to wash your teeth and to splash your head with the cold water. Totally of opposite of whatever we need to have. I'm giving you Monica Bellucci in your bed, and you want to play video games with her. It is exactly the same thing that you are doing every fucking day of your life, and you complain that you cannot enlighten because techniques are very, very difficult. You need to do asana and meditation, and you have it each day of your life, but you don't know where to look. So, what we need? We need very simple instructions. You know the story about reactive mind that I speak to you, that the most vulnerable moment of your life was when you are paralyzed. And as soon as your mind gives you a dream, so it can charge the battery, because the mind needs that time, so recharge. As soon as you wake, your mind is giving you urge to do something. You know this paranoid, neurotic feeling that when you are awake, you need to go somewhere to do something, which is his trick. So you can go and be the part of this world, not your primary world of dreaming. Movement, actions, ideas, fear, sensation of obligation in the later day. You want to see your timetable, your calendar, what you need to see missed calls. Especially difficult is urge to see the mobile phones, because you're expecting to see some, some message, some emails. Everything will destroy possibility to return to the natural state of your selfhood. So, what we need to do? Reverse. We need to stay calm, not to move. We are doing the same what the mind billion years ago did as a clever thing to the predators. Not to move. So predator will leave you thinking that you are dead and that you are poisonous. And it is not good to eat that body. It will leave you. If you having your mobile phones, my father, exactly the same time over 40 years. Okay, if you are put the mobile phone on or camera one night to watch you and to record your movements, and you will be surprised how much during the night you move. You even go to drink a water without realizing later that you did it. Try this experiment. You will see that sometimes you start to speak, to change the position in your bed, completely without any remembering later when you are wakeful that you did it. But how your mind in that time didn't wake you up, but when you finished the last REM phase, you are good to go. What is the difference? Will to be awake. Sometimes when you put alarm clock to wake you 6 o'clock in the morning, do you know this happenings for somebody who are awake even 1 minute before the alarm, or few minutes before alarm? Sometimes I can awake myself a moment before the alarm took place, because my will, when I push the button of alarm, I put a spin inside of my mind, the same spin which I will use as a tremendous help for all lucid endeavors, especially in the end when we reach what to do and where to go once you find yourself awakened in a dream. So, in that period, you need to stay calm so you can mind just think that you awaken by chance, so it will not turn on the alarm and makes you preparing for the upcoming day. It is trick, very stupid and simple trick. And what you need to do, I will tell you the hardest part so you can realize the mechanism, and then I will give you a cheat, shortcut. But without the hardest part, you will not be able to realize what is going on at all. So, the first thing, what you need is suggestion. Taking an alarm clock, it's also suggestion, auto-suggestion, but visual. You're not repeating yourself, I will get up in the morning. No, you press the button and you know automatically that button will result in your alarm when time comes. So, when you go to bed, you need to give precise suggestion that after you awake, you will stay motionless and without opening your eyes. Now, it sounds so stupid and silly that most of you thinks it is simply impossible. But believe me, it is much more possible than you can even realize. First of all, never give suggestion in future tense. I will, I might, I should. You will never attain it. When people say I will be strong, in fact, he already put a fact that he's weak. When women want to be wonderful and beautiful, when she say, I will be beautiful before him. No, your mind, in the moment of stepping before your ideal man, will start to become foolish, and you will do something which is not good. You never put your wish in future tense, but in present. I am brave. I am brave. That's better. That is crushing your mind, giving excuses to crush your wish. Because when you say, tomorrow will be sunny, sometimes even meteorologists can be wrong and you will have a rainy morning. But when you're saying, I am having a good time before the sun, that's realistic fact cannot be crushed by your mind because it is sun. There is no way it is the same way will be sun and the rain. I am brave. There is no way I am not brave. But when I say I will be brave, well, maybe tomorrow, but now you are a coward. This is approach which is so important that for the people who are doing suggestion can difference between full success and full failure. Only present. Never might, should, will. You know, in English, I don't know how to say the future tense, the time which will come. Use the same thing and same help as in writing the diary. Dusan is brave. He is brave. You are brave. Repeat the suggestion in other, I don't know how to say in English, you, me, then, and every, you know the difference. Because your mind, when you repeat something, it will start to take care about it. When you repeat mantra, after maybe 10 minutes, you will lose the meaning. when you focus on something in yoga, you will lose perception about that particular thing. We don't want this, because when it starts to rejecting something by automatism, it will stop to work. You need always to change approach with your suggestion. Start to speak very slowly. I am brave. You will see how difficult and different mind will be against it. It will, like a child, accept even an ugly toy, but it will accept it because it will be a new toy. So start to pronounce very fast. I am brave, I'm brave, I'm brave, I'm brave, I'm brave, and even faster and faster. It is very important to change always, like in the fighting school, I don't know, Aikido. You must change the position so your opponent cannot hold you, so it can use the techniques against you. You must move. Your mind will always need to move in lucid dreaming ideas. So reactive mind cannot have counter strike. The very important thing about suggestion, and during all these years, I found if you want to put suggestion that you are awakening without the moving, it is not so good, because it is impossible. When you are speaking about I'm waking without movement, you still know it is impossible. Like I am flying without the wings, or I am immortal. No matter how it is good in present moment, it is still impossible. Now we need to change a little bit so your mind will accept it. You don't need to be awake without movement. You need to remember to stay without the movement. So being without the movement will be the consequence of that remembering. The same thing, but very realistic, more realistic than suggestion, I am waking without the movement. So I am remembering not to move. This is much better. Much better. And it is almost like, okay, I'm remember to draw up the garbage, and I will remember to buy bread after my school or my work, whatever. So you see what I'm giving, always giving a harder way and then an easier way for the same thing, exactly the same thing. Now, what is also important to do when you go to bed, to give this sentence repetition in a way we talk, you need to lock your body and not to move until you go to sleep. So your body will have pressure on that not moving, not in a verbal way, but only in a tactical way. Somehow you want to remind your body that the beginning and the end of sleep will be covered by non-movement. Like you lock your body position, and your body will stay in that position even when you are awake. This is something which, I don't know, will take a time. I don't know how much, but it is like driving a bicycle. Once you adopt it, you will remember it until the rest of your life. But please don't leave this practice because of the first fail attempts. Remember, your mind now it's so strong that it will crush the remembering not to move in a billions of interesting ways. Now, let us suppose that you awake but with movement. You totally forget that you need to stay calm without opening your eyes. You go to wash your teeth, whatever you need, but in one moment you remember, I missed the possibility. What you need to do then? You are just rewinding the tape, returning to the bed, pretending that you are returning the time, you are going to your sleeping position, and you are pretending and acting that you are awake, but you are remembering and saying, I remember to stay calm. Like cut, copy, and paste realities. So your stupid mind will don't know now what you're doing, because he tricks you already to wash your teeth, to become the part of this reality. Very famous actor, very important actor. The part of this illusion that he gives you. But now you are stepping more and more toward the same stupid things which you already live, and that is your bed. And like dog, you are giving automatic reaction. So eventually he will adopt it. When it realizes that it will become a fact, and just a matter of time, when you will wake without a movement and opening the eyes, don't worry, he will start to using other means of stopping you. And I can write not one, but so much different kind of books of how strong and powerful your mind is to create tricks and spins of how to divert you from the path of lucidness. The same can go with enlightenment. Your whole life is actually taking resources of the universe for spending on something which was important billions of years ago. But don't think that it is something evil. No matter how much your mother is boring, she will sleep well. She will always ask you, Pax, are you hungry? Pax, did you eat enough? Pax, when you will return to your home? Pax, but you come late last night. Pax, are you hungry? Pax, do you want me to give you? And this is repetition of the mechanism, which is good, and we must embrace it as a younger child, as a younger brother or sister, to love him and to understand that it is supposed to be for our good. But somehow that kind of mind simply stopped to grow, trapped in the time of some millions years ago, or I don't know what the number, I say million, but of course it's not millions, there was not human brains millions years ago, but you know what I want to speak. So this is something which will follow us until when I will speak later about my own examples and experience, and I will speak about how powerful my mind is even now after 3 decades of every night, every day, lucid dreaming and astral projection. Still I fall with the same mechanism of self-delusion and trick, so I can drop experience. My mind is so strong now that sometimes, not always, but once in a month, he will even give me projection of whole day of lucid dreaming, letting me know that it is not lucid dream, it is a real life. Few hours of sense that I am in a reality. He construct not dream, precise copy of this reality. I go to work. I am with my kids. I even went back to work. It is hours. And when I got home, I awake knowing that somehow he tricks me not to do what I will tell you to do, so I can live and be lucid, and many other obstacles and tricks which I will speak about, so you can see the patterns of deceive and illusion of attainment that even your mind will give you. Sometimes you will have sensation that everything is under control, but you will be the part of a dream. Your mind will be so powerful to give you a dream that you are lucid dreaming. And you will do everything what I said, but in the end, you will see that it was not a lucid dream, but fake reality that you dreamed that you were awake, without fully awakeness and control, which I will tell you the tricks, which will show you if you are in ideal lucid dream or the copy of reality of a lucid dream. If you ask me, is there is a possibility to really know what is real or unreal of reality? No, there is no way. Don't be fooled when people say, I'm strong and I have meditation all my life and I'm so strong with my will that there is no lucid dream nor mind, reactive mind, that can hold me. No. With the growth of your mind, your shadow will also grow. With the growth of your body, the shadow of that body will be bigger and more strong. Your ego and your shadow will be. So don't expect that with more resources you will have more resources to battle against your lower nature. Quite the contrary. With strengthening your will, you are strengthening also the part of your being that we are calling the shadow. This is exactly the paradoxically of the states that I speak with you in the beginning. You don't need to strengthen yourself. You need to shortcut the methods so your mind will not have time to react. We need to prepare battle so fast that when army comes to the battle place, the battle will always be won. The fast, we need the haste, we need a trick, not real war. So, when you go to bed, if you are waking with the movement, you always return and pretending that everything is okay. Sooner or later, it will happen, a wonderful moment. And it is much more closer to you than you think. Don't need months or weeks or years. Usually 2 weeks, no more. If more than that, it shows that some part of agreement that you have with me, it's not accomplished. And you can write me and we can resolve. It will be like taking the car to the car shop. We need to improve. If I give you the car which is fixed, usually something new problem will happen and we need to adapt and finally to build your car so you can use it again. Not in the first, but in a couple of times. So, you will just morning, you will awake, you will hear something outside of the house, the dogs bark, and you will realize that you are not opening your eyes and that you are in the same place without movement. And that fact will stun you. You will be so amazed that you will do exactly the same as the body movement. You will be awake. And there will be probably no chance of any lucid experiment more than realizing that you are awake. You will be so enchanced by realization that you stayed still, that you will be more awake than if you start to move your body. So there is two type of movement: body movement and mind movement. Sometimes this second will be most disastrous than the first one. What you need then? repetition. Like in first sex, I was very, my wife is listening, but my first sex was, I pretend that I am very, very smart, and I leave the girl to do everything, and I'm just enjoying because she thought that I'm very experienced, but I didn't have experience. But all my other friends, the first sex have totally ruined because too much thinking, the male problem, the soldier was not this, but in this. But we need a time. We need to repeat once more, and after a couple of times, you will be relaxed and everything will be settled okay. The same, completely the same is with your lucid dreaming. Do not desperate, saying, oh man, I lose erection, I'm very bad lover. No, everything it's okay, that's natural. You just need to continue to work and to repeat, and you will reach a point when you will say, oh, now this is natural. You will, after a couple of successful waking without the movement, you will success in movement, without movement, but with the proper mental attitude, will be totally relaxed, without pressure, without neurotic, now it's the best time. No, if you say that, you will destroy everything. And what then you need to do? The first and most difficult error, it's doing. Whatever you do will simply wake you. It is like, you remember the old computer when you have screensavers with the monitor. Whenever you move your mouse, your screen will bring back. So you don't need to do anything. You need to wait. What? I will tell you. There is a special occasion when you are dreaming, always, which is biologically part of that state. We call that sleeping paralysis. Your mind have a combination of set factors, like opening the lock. Procedures, if don't followed, it will turn on the alarm. Your mind must be certainly for sure that you are ready for sleep. Why? Imagine that you are driving your motorcycle or car and that suddenly you have a dream. You will get killed. There is a disease, illness, when you have a dreaming state inside of wakefulness, and it is called, I don't know in English, moonwalker, when people are starting to move, physically move, but with dreaming. It is very dangerous because they can get killed. Usually not, but we will talk about why. Because your mind will take care of everything, and usually people who are moonwalking don't have any problems until you are wake them up. So your mind, when you are awake, he needs to check if you are really awake. How? Giving scratches and neurotical bombing sensations toward your skin. Mostly of you know when you go to daily nap, when you find a perfect position to sleep, start to get scratch. Then you get feeling that this position is not good, but you don't know why. It is perfect, but you need to change position. Because your mind is checking, you are preparing to give you a dream. Because during the daily nap, your dream will get as soon as you got into the sleep, without 90 minutes of losing the NREM. We will talk about that in the other day, because it is very important for us to discover the daily nap as a specific part of human life, which is very valuable for lucid endeavors. So, when you are waking up, without movement, without opening the eyes, you wait and observe what is happening. Now, this is the first real step. Everything before that was introduction. In the first 10 seconds, sometimes you will have a feeling that you are on the edge of the bed, and you will get fear that you will fall, and you will open your eyes realizing that you are on the center of the bed, and that idea was implanted by your mind, who want you to move, because when you move you destroy everything. You will start to get scratch. Your whole body will so scratch that it will be unbearable for you. Why? Because your mind wants you to move and scratch. And when you move, you destroy everything. Third, much clever, sound hallucination. You know, I don't know, probably you don't, because you don't have, most of you, lucid experience, but you will hear something which is not happening at all. Sometimes you will hear, especially in the daily nap, that somebody turn on the television, and later when you go, you see that TV is turned off. Sound hallucination is one of the strongest way of your mind stopping you from lucid dream. Why? Because the sense of hearing is much older than the sense of seeing. There's a lots of people when doing regression, the remembering of the past lives. So I want you to make experiment with them. Most of them are very, very smart liars. And usually they invent something like little children. And they say that they remember the day that they was born. They was like babies in the womb of their mothers, and they saw the doctor pulling the legs of the baby and something like this bullshit. It is impossible, because no matter how much they think that they saw doctors, baby eyes are not eyes at all. They still don't have neurotic informations which they can see and remember later as a doctor. They cannot see the colors, and they cannot see the objects in a way that we are seeing. So if they say to you that they remember that, 100% either they are lying or they believe in their lies. So what we have in our womb, in the mother's womb? Touch and hearing. Two most important sense which we will develop and work in a lucid dream. I will tell you exactly what is going on. So, I will tell you my story. 90% of illusion, my mind, after 30 years of working with me in a company of lucid dreaming, still think that I will fall under this stupid lie. I go into a sleeping paralysis, I wake without the moving, my mind wants to check, he knows that I am not longer take care about the scratch or the illusion about to something need to be done. I'm just very patient, taking time to drop me more into sleep paralysis, and I hear somebody is picking my lock. And usually when I was younger, I always thought that I forget to leave the key from the lock so my father cannot get in. And I was very frightened, so I go to the door, I open, and I saw nobody. Typically illusion of my mind. You will hear that somebody is turned on the TV, stopping you from lucid dreaming, and you want to piss them off and to say, shut the fuck TV, and when you move, when you destroy everything, you will see that TV it's already turned off. Auditory illusions can be so real, even now, after all these decades, that you will not be able to understand, is it a part of a dream or reality? Never have a chance. Sometimes fake sound illusions can be more real because your mind will go into a trance, so that kind of experience will be much more, experienced in a, I call this limbo, state between, not in a lucid dream, but far from the wakefulness. You need only a couple of things you need to do so you can drop inside of your dream. There is a specific kind of terror and horror without any reason, which will be sensation inside of us when we are close to our body. This, terrific sensation, horror, fright, it's a part of our childhood. Why? Very, very simple. What do you do when your child in the middle of the night say to you that something is wants to harm him and that he's or she is having a nightmare? You are doing the worst thing that you can do. You take the light on, saying, everything is okay, I will turn on the light. No. Your child will go to sleep again with the sense of terrific sensation of horror. But that bulb of light, which is now turned on, will prevent him from his mind to wash all that horror, so it can give him another new dream. So the light will produce serotonin in his eyes, so your child will continue with the bad dream, and you are the main guilt of that. This is the mechanism from the mankind. Wanted for your child to have secure dream, you turn on the light. And when you remember what is the time of the worst nightmares that you have in your childhood, exactly on that point, before the dawn, between 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning. The most strongest lucid dreaming, most imbecile ideas when you awake with the fear without any reason, it's the mechanism of your mind so it can trap away from awakeness. The fear is the first general in his war, so it can stop you. First, it was very careful. Your mother will ask you, Dushan, please finish your lunch. I say no. Dushan, please finish your lunch. I say no. My mother say, now you are not going anywhere in the night. And I say no. And my mother start to involve fear, saying, if you are not eating, you can die. You can have your body weak. Everybody will laugh at you. Exactly the same mechanism of your reactive mind. Fear. If he cannot push you nicely, he will use a very deadly means. Let me talk about my lucid dream. In that time I was very experienced. I did have astral projections without any problem, but I'm still experimenting. It was when my mother died, I have 17 years old, the middle of my puberty, and I remember the night or two after the funeral. I will just put info. The most horrific fright of mine is a coffin when I was a little, but not with dead men. I don't afraid of dead men. I like the vampires, but the coffin for me was simply the only one fright and fear which I still now I don't know why, but that's it. And I become lucid. I was in perfect position to step out, and I will tell you later, not now, what is the procedure. I just want to tell you how strong the mind can be. And my mind putting me scratching sensations, thirst. I felt illusion that I am very thirsty, but I realized it is a fake. And my mind testing me to get out of this state or to wake. I didn't do anything. Waiting to sleep paralysis to become more strength so I can leave my body. And I start with the hearing to hear some scratch. Beside me, because I sleep in a queen size bed. We have that beautiful big apartment, old apartment, and my father, my brother and me sleep each one in their sleeping room with a big beds, because the old apartment in Serbia usually have this kind of furniture, and my father wanted always to buying and selling that stuff, and I have a queen size bed, so I always sleep like a bear, fully accomplished in the bed. And I hear something which is beside me and which is touching my finger. And I thought, but this is illusion. The sensation and hearing, once more, not visual, hearing and touching, sensation, fake. I know that my mind wants me to trick him. But I don't know how. And this is the important part. You can step inside of his projections, of your dream, of your mind projection very easily. In a second of, without paying attention, you can drift off. And I drift off because I ask myself, what is touching me? Maybe it's not a dream. Maybe it's some cockroach. I don't know, because I hear something and I start to touch. And my mind, in the regular movement, would wake me, because I touch with my physical and I will realize it was illusion, but I will drop any chance of sleep paralysis because I move myself and I destroy everything. But my mind didn't want me to do that, because he's using the old bad feeling about the funeral and the death of my mother to teach me a lesson, never to do this again. And I start with my touch, because in your sleep paralysis everything is very dark. There is no way to see. Seeing, as I told you, will grow later. And I start to touch and I see the part of wood. And I thought myself, but maybe I'm on the edge of my bed, but still I should touch a wall, not a wood. And you know the texture of the wood. And I saw the edges, very, very strong edges. And I start to think what it is. And my mind didn't wake me. He just moved me in a fake reality, because I put attention on that, not at what I need to do so I can sleep in a lucid dream. He created a false reality, a false awakening. And I follow the wrong path that it gives me, like a dog giving an alarm, the command. And in one way, I realize that the textures of the wood are precisely the textures of a coffin lies near me. You must imagine how sensation of true horror and evil in that time when my mind is quite delusional, and you will see the fear if you are near your body, and if you stay in one place without movement, it will grow and you will awake yourself full of sweat, how much fear you will sense. That fear, it's not earthly fear. It is something which is deeply connected to our childhood, even before that, something iconic of the humankind, horrific, who want to scare you. Primordial scream or scare, which is not connected to happening, but for some archetypes which simply I don't have a reason to object. And why I start to touch the coffin. And when I realize that it is coffin, I realize also one different things, and that scratching was not of the cockroach, but someone wanted to get out of that coffin. And in that moment, I hear scraping sound of wood. When coffins is open, and I was paralyzed. I cannot move because now my mind is giving me what I want. Sleep paralysis, like old mother who wants to take revenge, playing with the toys of the child. And when the coffins open, I was in a very, very dark space, in a dark limbo, completely constructed for me. I sense perfume of my mother, which usually she had. So just imagine what happened after. And it took me maybe 30 minutes of hell. And I was in paralysis. I cannot move. In that time, I start to see. But the mechanism of control starts very, very childishly. And it will grow in a level that you are not aware it can hit you. Always remember my words. Whatever you feel fear, don't be stuck in one place. I don't know if you remember, if you have nightmares, if you see something which is fear, very, very horrific. When you start to run away, it will start to be very slowly impossible to run, like you are running in some glue or something. This is exactly what is happening. You are holding in one place so much that your mind simply don't want you, like living mud, living sand. You need always to move. And this is another chapter of moving, which we will talk later, and which is so important to realize that it will change your life for sure. Couple of hours I will need, but for now we are just speaking about techniques. So once again, you're dealing with suggestion. You know what and which way and when you need to repeat that. 10 minutes and then just go to sleep. But don't move. When you start to giving your suggestion that you will remember to stay motionless, you are not moving until the dawn. There is two chances of how this movie will go. First, you are moving. If that happened, then rewind the tape, go and act that everything is okay, creating a false reality and false success. If you are awake without movement, don't do nothing. and wait for sleep paralysis to come. There is a strong feeling and knowing that something is under sleep paralysis because you will change reality. Audio hallucinations, you will start to have feeling that something is going on. Usually in the first 10 to 20 seconds. Very fast. Usually not more than 10 seconds. Even if nothing has happened, you will wait 10 seconds because your mind will sometimes give you illusion that nothing has happened, so you can skip and wake up. You don't get fooled. You are just waiting 10 seconds. Whatever will happen, and it will happen in the next 10 seconds, don't pay attention. It is like fairy tale movie. It is a chant and a magic spell of evil wizard. Don't put attention. Like Odyssey and the Syrian story. You need to keep your attention out of it so you cannot get hurt. 10 seconds and you're ready to do one most important part in all this job, which I'm calling phantasmal movement. Phantasmal movement is a movement, but not with the body, not with the mind, but with intention. This is what I want usually to have for next week. Unfortunately, we lose a lot of time in theory. You just need to believe me that I'm preparing everything so you can accept all techniques and all things much more easily. It is very easy to teach you to lucid dream. I can do that in half an hour. I don't need 4 weeks, but it is very hard to teach you how to stay in that dream and how you can use movements and actions in a totally different world where you don't have a body at all. You will be like me in Brazil 15 years ago. Nobody knows English. I don't know Portuguese, and totally silly situation. And you need to adapt to new circumstance, which will be totally different for you, imagining that you have another body in another universe without knowing how to use the limbs, which are totally difficult and different to use than your hands and legs. So this is like how to say the first week, which is a little bit preliminary. Next week it will be very hard for you because a lots of practical informations, and we are pushing more and more into the techniques itself. A lot less talk about the mind and everything, but from time to time I will always remind you what we told today. Is there any questions for this first part? Is there anything that I missed or that you are unable to understand, which is not so good in talkings? Do you have some questions for me in this period of work? Say, Yannick.
Hi. So usually I sleep quite late, and I put like 67 alarms on my phone to wake me up, and I wake up after like my alarm has been ringing for like 2 hours. And also I use my phone. I have a physical alarm clock. I have like 5 alarms to wake me up. So as far as I understand, my task is to wake up and not move.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the first thing that I do also is to turn off my alarm, which is a movement. So any tips on how to either wake up more naturally or like how to approach this situation?
Of course. As you remember, I'm speaking about 2 approach. hard and easy. I'm speaking today about the hard. I will learn you the easy, which will use alarm clock as a main method. But I want to realize of you what is the whole procedure, and everything until the next week will be a true fairy tale. Totally. Mind fact, this is nice talking but far from instructions. But I need to adopt the main method so we can trick it. Most of you simply don't have, how to say, natural abilities, so you can simply sleep as much as you can, so you can naturally be awakened. We will not use natural awakening. We will use something which will help you to achieve lucidity 100 times better than anything else. But we will talk about it next week.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody else? I leave half an hour to question and asking, but if you don't know more questioning, then there will be no my asking, and we have a more time. I don't know. For now, it is impossible to give you something which will be another chapter. We don't have so much time, and I see that you are a little bit sleepy. Pax want to go to sleep. Finally, I hope you will sleep. So, there is a very, very good trick that I want you to have, and this is it. With your right leg, this is the mind trick which you will please do all life, 5 minutes a day, and it will give you a more benefit than all meditation, rituals, visualization, everything that you have in your life. Very simple. With your right leg, I will just use my... With your right leg, start to spin clockwise, like drawing a circle like in the clock. Clockwise, from left to right, precise circle. Precise circle. Don't do squares, don't do eggs, shell and eggs form. Pure circle. Pure circle. After you do a couple of pure circle with your right leg, now, while keeping the same movement of your right leg, with your right finger, draw before you number 6. But not from the bottom, from the upper part. Without changing trajectory and the movement of the right leg. You will see a wonderful happening that your mind will stopping you from doing this. There is no way, mostly there is no way that you can do that without problems. Usually leg it's hurting because your reactive mind cannot talk with 2 hemispheres in the same time. Vlado, you are writing some other number 6. You're writing the number on some foreign languages. 6, very clear, and play with it. It will help your mind for some things which I will show you in your lucid dream. It will be mind fact. All my webinar and all my talkings are, you see, a little bit more, how to say, simple, natural. And I'm going from my mistakes, from my life, rather than from the books, which I read them maybe 200 about the astral projection, which I don't need for you to do. Not because I want you to be stupid guy without reading. No. But living practice is one thing and reading about it is another. Sometimes books can show us a waste of time. And simply, whatever I want to share with you is a living practice of living selfhood, of that child who don't want to follow rules. Not because I am a revolutionary. Maybe I am, or I was, but I don't know. I just want to play and to enjoy in that play. Whatever you do in your occult life, don't forget to play. And only in that way you will not feel hatefulness, jealousy, everything that is invention of human older mind. Child don't have that. Only enjoyment in the game. Of course they have but that is the showing that they are growing up. When they hate without any reason. And after it they leave and starting to play again. So the game, for me, the sense of game, it's important, so you can experiment. You just need to experiment, not to do. Try, experiment, change. Use this exercise 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. As soon as you wake up, try to do this. When you open your eyes, move. Let us say that we will not use what I'm saying, that you will wake without movement. We will leave that for another week. This is introductory week. You don't need to start to work anything except the magical diary. That is my warm suggestion. So each day, each morning, 5 minutes of this, I'm calling this Magnificent Six exercise, and you will see how much Yannick is trying very hard. Are you good?
No, I'm trying really hard because it's really easy for me, so I'm trying to understand if I'm doing it wrong, because like I keep on making the circle and I'm drawing the 6 and my leg still makes the circle. Like I'm not having really a difficulty with it. I'm surprised because I'm not the most coordinated person.
Great, because your mind, your hemisphere of your mind, it's perfect. But let me.
Right leg is right hand, right hand and right.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, but clockwise leg.
Yeah. Clockwise with the leg like this. And
Wait. You are doing counterclockwise.
This is clockwise. Maybe the.
Yes. Okay. Now put 6. But you are not doing the 6. You are perfect. It's perfect. But you are slowing the movement. You are doing of course somebody will have difficulty, somebody will not have. But you need to see a pattern of your mind stopping the trajectory even slightly. Okay. But you just need to work, and your hemisphere will start to cooperate between themselves, which is very important for the human mind. This is just a small trick that I give you, and I will give you a lots of other exercise next week. For those who want, I'm recording everything, so later I can send you on emails and everything. Usually I can send you with V-transfer because the big files Gmail cannot support. I realized that relatively soon. So when I pack and lower the resolution, I will send you usually per week is 10 gigabytes, 5 gigabytes, depends on how much we speak. Next time, the Sunday, same time, same place, everything, and we are doing a real magic. This is just preliminary, which is simply needed. I'm sorry if I lower your expectations, but this is something which I really wanted to say, and after a while I will always return to something which we speak today. Next week we are deeping dive practically in a lucid dream. You will have an exercise you will do for the 3rd week. The third week usually also need a lots of other lucid dreaming instructions. Fourth week is reserved for astral projection and scrying, but if we need more time, I'm totally okay, and usually I give a fifth week, of course, everything for free, if you have enough time. I know that Sunday it's reserved for family and for joy and everything, but I think you can sacrifice this and to have, let me say, one of the most wonderful moment in your life. And you don't need to believe me, just check what to do and you will have it. So I am very glad that we meet, that we speak. Whatever you need, if you have unclearance of something that I said, if you want to write or something to speak, I'm totally open. You see that I'm practical. I'm not in that way I'm your instructor, you are my students. No, totally relaxed. We are friends now because we are in the same path of light, and this is the great company if you have people who are going in the same way. I am honored that you invite me and that you accept my invitation, and I will do whatever I can. Unfortunately, my English it's not so good, so you can have everything settled in fast time. You must believe I'm very amateurish in English, and it is very abstract subject, so sometimes I don't even to know how to speak in Serbian and I must to translate that. But okay, I'm learning new stuff, English, and you are learning new stuff, the lucid dreaming journey language. So next Sunday, same time, same place. If you have some time, you have my email and Facebook, just write me and I'm here for you. Okay? Okay, love you very much. Thank you much for your cooperation. You are a wonderful audience. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.